Hi, welcome back to Detailing World. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at cleaning your interior and trying to restrict the spread of COVID-19. So as I record this then, it's the first weekend in April and we're well into the lockdown period now then of the coronavirus pandemic that's going across the world basically. So yeah, we thought we'd just quickly touch on doing your bit and what you can try and do to keep yourself safe and your family, and trying to keep the interior of your car as clean as you really can and try and limit the germs and all the nastiness inside of your car really. One thing people probably never really think of or wouldn't want to admit to themselves is how dirty the inside of your car actually is. And when you think about it, it's no surprise really. You know, you use your car to go to work, to do your shopping, to drop the kids off. So your hands are really, they're on the steering wheel all the time, which is one key area you need to make sure it's clean. The gear stick, the handbrake, and you know, the stereo and the grab handles to close the door. So you touch quite a lot of the car. So today, as I said, it's not going to be a thorough, in-depth video. It's just going to be talking about what you can really do, realistically try and prevent the spread of it more than anything. So we'll quickly go through some of the products that I'll be using today. As I say, it's mainly looking at the hard surfaces. That's where from my understanding, is where the germs are really going to be lying. So I'm just going to be touching on that more so in the video. Larry over at Ammo NYC, he's done a very, very thorough, in-depth video on this. It's about 20 minutes long, so I'll put a link up here to that and in the description below. Go check him out. He explains it a lot better than I know I will. But yeah, I just thought I'd touch on this video just for you guys in case you haven't seen Larry's video and what you can do. So the first thing I'm going to be doing, probably not show you on camera, is BioBrisk. This is a fabric cleaner from AutoSmart, and it's there to basically try and break down the sort of enzymes and the germs and bacteria that build up in the fabrics of your interior. So I'll be starting off with that, and that's mixed at a 5:1 dilution in this bottle here. So before I go through the rest of it, I really don't want you to think this is all about just advertising different brands. It's absolutely not. I'm just going through my garage and finding the most suitable products for this job basically. So once I've done the carpets and everything, I'll be then using the Yum interior, which you can use on all plastics, rubbers, leather. You can use that all over the interior. You can also use something such as AutoSmart G101, an all-purpose cleaner, any brand of all-purpose cleaner. So if you're using that, something like that, where you need to dilute it, start at a 10:1 mix and then move on to a 4:1. At the end, I've got this in the middle of the shelf, but at the end I'll be using the Valet Pro Fab Seal, just to make it, you know, any future cleaning of the foot mats and the carpets a lot easier. That's got nothing to really do with the virus and everything, but I just thought I'd mention that. That'd be one step I'll be doing, but again, you may not see this on camera today. I'll also be using a product from the house. So you probably have this under the kitchen sink, and some disinfectant basically. So I've mixed up a solution here. 1 to 15 is the dilution instruction. So I've got like 450 ml of water and 30 ml of disinfectant in there. So I'll just mention in a moment the idea, but as I said, Larry's probably better explaining it than me. And then to finish off, to get rid of the smell of disinfectant, because I know the missus won't like it too much, the Yum deodorizer lemon zest. So I'll be using that, or possibly something like Detailed Online's air freshener, which is a nice cherry fragrant. So yeah, they're the products I'm going to be using and why I'm going to be using them. So I'll quickly just explain the idea behind the process today. But as I say, Larry over at Ammo NYC has done a great job explaining the difference between cleaning, sanitizing and disinfecting. And just to give you a quick breakdown just from what I took from his video, you first of all want to clean all the surfaces. So that would be with something like the Yum interior or an all-purpose cleaner, whatever interior products it is you use. You also need some leather products if you've got leathers such as myself. So I forgot to put that on the shelf, but I'll be cleaning the leather as well. So yeah, you want to clean the surfaces first, get as much loose dirt off as possible, get the dust off, you know, just get it as clean as you can first of all. And then there's a difference between sanitizing and disinfecting. And from what I took from Larry's video is sanitizing reduces the harmful bacteria content a lot more than cleaning alone, but doesn't necessarily kill the bacteria and the germs. That's where disinfecting comes in. So what I'll be doing today is I'll be cleaning and going straight onto disinfectant, simply because I haven't got any like hand sanitizer or even sanitizer wipes. Stocks are low, so I just haven't got any. So I'm literally going to go from cleaning to disinfecting to then an air freshener to make it smell nice. Also, whilst you're doing this, particularly if you're doing it on a customer's car, you're going to want a mask of some sort. Obviously, you don't want to breathe in potential virus germs and all of that. You just don't want to be breathing in that kind of stuff anyway, in general, not necessarily just because of this. And get yourself some gloves as well, some nitrile gloves. Keep your hands nice and clean whilst you're doing this. Also, maybe some blue roll that you can just toss away, or just plenty of microfiber towels as well. You may want to throw some of them away after. So if you've got some microfibers that have had 1 or 2 uses, you can probably use them to disinfect, providing they are clean, of course. There's no point using dirty microfiber towels to do this job. Use some nice clean ones and then just toss them away, especially if you know you're dealing with a car that has had, you know, a driver in there with coronavirus symptoms. You might as well just throw those towels away once you've done. If you're doing this just to help prevent, you know, you may not have had it, then just give the towels a really good wash on a separate, you know, cycle, or by themselves afterwards. Or, as I say, just toss them away as well, or use some blue roll. So yeah, I'm going to quickly give this one a clean, and that's pretty much it, really. Right then, so let's get into this. First of all, you want to start off by dusting down the dashboard, dust around the vents, the touchscreen and all of that. So here I'm just using, basically it's just a paintbrush that I've never actually used for painting and decorating. Just taped up the metaphor on the end with a bit of blue tape, just to prevent any accidental knocks and scratches, things such as that. But yeah, start off by giving all hard surfaces a dust down where you can, and maybe even vacuum the seats and get as much loose dirt and whatnot off the seats. Then run to using the interior cleaner. So I'm using the Yums interior cleaner here. Again, I'm just going around all the hard surfaces first, giving those a quick clean down. The touchscreen, you want to be a bit mindful of that. Sometimes it can be a bit funny depending on what products you use on those. So I tend to use a dry cloth on the touchscreens, or maybe a little bit of clean fresh water, just dampened slightly on there. But always spray your products directly onto your cloth, really where you can, unless it's a large area such as door cards, which we'll get onto in a moment. Moving on to the gear stick then, other than the steering wheel, this is probably one of the most touched areas. Even if you're driving in an automatic car, you still put it into park and into reverse as well. So yes, you may not use it as much as a manual car. However, it is something you will still be touching, as I said, just to put it into park and neutral and reverse and whatnot. So give all around the gear stick area a good clean if you can. If you've got leather, also use a leather cleaner and try and pull up the gator as well, which is what I'm doing here. Just give that a really good clean. Again, this is a Yums product still. You can use a antibacterial product, you can use all-purpose cleaner, but really you want to start off by cleaning the areas first. Remember, that's the first thing we're doing. So it can be a dedicated interior cleaner or a shampoo water mix. It doesn't really matter, but just get everything in there, and then once it's all foamed up nicely, use a separate cloth just to mop the suds and the dirt away. Again, after the steering wheel and gear stick, it's onto the handbrake area and cup holders. This generally needs cleaning anyway. A lot of people spill bits of coffee, tea, whatever it is you're holding in those cup holders. So it needs cleaning anyway, regardless. Again, it's just the same process over and over. Just keep all the areas clean. And with the handbrake, don't forget, if you have got a standard handbrake like this rather than an electric one, put your foot on the brake pedal and just drop the handbrake off a bit so you can clean at the back of it as well, and lift it up as high as you can as well, so you can clean as much down at the front where possible. So yeah, we'll just repeat this process over and over again on all hard surfaces. So I'll just let this run and stop talking for a moment. So moving on to your steering wheel and anything with electric controls, you want to be careful around the switches. So again, as I said earlier, you want to spray the product directly onto the microfiber. In this case, just spray a bit of your product into the brush and just dab that around. You don't want to get it too saturated. You don't want products leaking into the connections and possibly causing any issues. So just be a bit mindful and then dry it as much as you can afterwards as well. Get the microfiber folded and into all the nooks and crannies to try and get out as much of the dirty solution as possible. On to cleaning the leather then, so the steering wheel and the seats. I have done a leather interior video, so I'll put a link to that up top right now. But just give the steering wheel a very, very good clean. This is obviously the #1 touched area in your car, of course. Also, you can give these seats a clean whilst you're at this. You've got all the products out, so you might as well if you've got the time. And it's just the same as with the interior cleaner. You're just going to be working that product in, giving it a good clean, and then mopping it away with a separate cloth. And now onto the disinfecting stage. So what I'm doing here, I'm just testing the disinfectant on a small inconspicuous area here. So we've got a little bit of plastic there and a tiny bit of leather at the back of the steering wheel as well. So just test it in a small area and wait a few minutes. Make sure the product that you're going to be using doesn't react with the surfaces that you're going to be using it on. The last thing you want to do is cause any damage to these kind of materials. So you don't want to be staining it or causing any cracks in the leather, removing any dye or anything like that. So yeah, test it on a small area first, wait a few minutes, and if it's safe to do so, disinfect as much as the other high contact areas as possible. So again, just apply the disinfectant straight onto your cloth and then just yeah, work that all over the areas that you need to disinfect as much as you can. So just a reminder then, the high contact areas are going to be your steering wheel, the gear stick, the handbrake, the seat belt buckles, the door handles for getting in and out of the car, and possibly the radio and air conditioning control unit and all of that. So yeah, nearly everything up front in the car you are touching, so try and disinfect as much as you can to reduce those germ levels. Right, so there we have it then, short and sweet. Really, it is just a case of using common sense. And speaking of which, let me just take these gloves off. So what you want to do is obviously start off by cleaning the areas that you touch the most, so the steering wheel, the gear stick, the handbrake, steering wheel controls, switches, and don't forget seatbelt buckles and obviously door handles and all of that. So clean the high contact areas the most then, and then you can focus on things such as the seats and the carpet. So I've quickly shown you I was cleaning the leather seats. I will go back and condition them shortly. Carpets, again, they'll just need a vacuum, maybe a deodorizer or something such as the BioBrisk as well to try and kill any germs in those. You can, if you really wish, go to town and disinfect them as well. That is down to you. Speaking of disinfecting then, obviously this is something you wouldn't normally consider doing on your car. So there's a lot of products out there that don't necessarily disinfect car interiors. So it may be that you are reaching under the kitchen sink or going in the bathroom cupboards or something and getting that bottle of disinfectant out of the house and diluting your own mix. If that is the case, then it obviously goes without saying, test in a small inconspicuous area first. So I was checking at the back of the steering wheel. There's bit of plastic there and also a bit of leather, so I'm testing two sort of surface types at the same time there. With the touchscreen, that's a bit dubious. I didn't apply anything onto the touchscreen. I just basically used the dampened cloth and then wiped it straight off after. In most cars with touchscreens, you can normally operate it without actually using the touchscreen and just using the dial. So if that's something you can do, it is changing the habits of how you use your car for a little while. But yeah, try to stick to the buttons, because at least you know in the future you can clean those again and you can disinfect those again. So yeah, as I say, it's all about using a bit of common sense and just more than anything, testing a small inconspicuous area first. You don't want to cause any damage, you don't want to cause any leather fading, cracks, and the plastic to fade or stain or anything like that. As I say, I'm not going to be responsible for what you guys do. Just, as I say, apply a little bit of common sense, and if in doubt, just don't. Just give it a good clean with known interior cleaners, and leave it at that. That will massively reduce the spread of germs anyway. You know, that is what everyone's saying at the moment. Soap and water is enough to be washing your hands. You don't need hand sanitizer. So the same logic could possibly be applied for the car interior as well. Just a soap and water mixture or a dedicated interior cleaner should be more than enough to reduce those germ levels down. That's what you're trying to do, really. Just reduce it down as much as you can. If you can kill them, great. If not, just bring them down to a really, really low level. And yeah, just try and obviously protect yourself, your family, and anyone else that may be traveling in the car with you. So I hope you found this video a little bit useful then. As I said, I'll be putting the links in the description below to Larry over at Ammo NYC. It's because of his video I decided to create this and obviously point my viewers towards the direction of him, and you know, mention the fact about keeping your car interior clean, particularly if you are in the essential industries, really. So if you're a healthcare worker, maybe you're a supermarket worker, whatever the trade is that you're doing and you're still considered essential, you are still going to be driving your car. If you're still at home and you're in isolation, lockdown, quarantine, whatever you want to refer to it as, then you're probably not using your car all that much, but it is something you still really want to consider doing anyway. So yeah, there we go. And as always, if you've enjoyed this video, please make sure you smash that like button. If you're not subscribed to this channel already, please do consider subscribing as well. Check us out on Instagram over at Detail and Mode Official. I'm on there as Randomly Set, and we'll see you in the next video.